worst thing you could ever do, in my opinion, when you're learning a language, the absolute worst thing is to give up. So, all that to say, don't give up. Many people ask themselves the question, how long does it take to become fluent in a language like Spanish or even if it's another language? And to that, one, I would say it depends, but two, and most importantly, I think there's a better question that you could ask yourself. So I would answer that question with a question by saying, how far can I get if I don't stop? How far can I get if I don't stop? And I think this is more important because it frames your language learning journey as one that is not so focused on just like the final outcome, which, by the way, if you're so focused on that, then learning will be absolutely dreadful. Learning should be something where you enjoy the process, you enjoy what you're doing day in and day out and day in and day out. I've been learning for almost a decade, and every single time I crack open a book or talk to a native speaker, it's actually fun. You know, it's actually something that I enjoy doing. It's something that brings me fulfillment. So I think that is important, asking yourself that better question and finding a way to enjoy the journey. You know, so many people after a week, they're ready to give up, or after a month, ready to give up, or even a year, ready to give up. But if you just embrace it and let the efforts compound week after week, month after month, year after year, you'd be surprised at where you see yourself after X amount of time. Like, I'll just say X amount of time because there is no way to really quantify how long it takes to be fluent. And, you know, I really don't like to see those videos because I hate setting up students and learners for disappointment. You know, I think it's just something that you do, and ultimately, as you keep doing it and as you keep pursuing it, it just becomes more natural. You learn more about yourself, and it's not fair to yourself, you know. You just don't want to set yourself up for failure by putting a timestamp on it. Now, I get it. Like, certain people learn at faster paces than others, but that doesn't negate the fact that you should still be enjoying the journey. By the way, don't forget to subscribe. And maybe you don't necessarily care about learning another language. You just like hearing me talk, or you know me. Make sure you share this with somebody that you know cares about language learning, or just share it on your social media page. Don't be selfish. Don't keep it to yourself. So I would say that that's probably the biggest thing, and I figure people will be curious to know that before they start learning the language. And, you know, it's just a fair question. It's a fair in the sense that it's understandable why people would ask that, but it's not a fair question. It's not a fair standard to hold yourself to expect yourself to learn in X amount of time. Give yourself grace, enjoy the journey. Understand that some people's pace of learning is different, depending on how passionate you are or why you're learning. But just understand that at the end of the day, it's a process. You're supposed to enjoy it. And the worst thing you could ever do, in my opinion, when you're learning a language, the absolute worst thing is to give up. So, all that to say, don't give up. Check out the video I'll link in the description, my previous video, or I'll put it up here or probably in the description. So, again, subscribe, share this with at least one person, somebody you know cares about learning a language, or if you do care about learning another language. Hasta el próximo video. Nos vemos. Chao.